Hey everyone, welcome to Kart Crazy. Behind me on the trailer sits my latest marketplace find. Let's stick a battery in this thing and see if we can make it run. Alright, so here's your latest marketplace find. It's a 1995 EZ-GO TXT, and it's kind of a long story on how I actually found this. It wasn't actually listed for sale. I'll fill you in on the details on that in just a little bit. Didn't even come with a seat. I snagged the seat out of my last marketplace find, which was a $250 cart, and it said it was submerged. I'm a little nervous about that because I couldn't find a big enough bag to drive this thing into with rice to dry everything out. So I'm kind of glad I found this other one, because I have a lithium setup at home for this that I can stick in here, see if this thing works, and then I have another plan for that one, which would be redoing all the electronics and everything else. So let's take this thing home. I threw the seat on here kind of temporarily so I can have a place to sit. We'll throw that lithium setup in there and see if we can make this thing go. Here's another crazy story for you, because y'all are wondering how I find these. So there was an ad that popped up yesterday, and I'll show you the picture of it here. And it was literally the batteries for what I could tell was a club car sitting right here. You can still see the outline of the dust where they were. And I chatted with the lady a little bit. I didn't really want the batteries, but I said, is the golf cart for sale that they're sitting on? And she said, yes. We're asking $700. Now, all I had was a picture from about here to here. I could tell that it was an EZ-GO by the cup holders and the pedals and the reverse and forward lever. Had no idea what year it was. Knew it was most likely a TXT. And she said, we're asking $700. And I said, great, when can I come and look at it? And she said, tomorrow around 2. I said, perfect. So I showed up at 2, and this is what I found. Exactly what you see here. No batteries, no seat. Pulled up the serial number. It's a 1995. So 1 year newer than Meltdown. Basically the exact same setup. And got to talk with him a little bit. Her husband bought it to fix it up, and then he ran into some health problems, and yeah, just kind of a long story. But I talked him down quite a bit on the price, threw it on the trailer, brought it home, and I thought I would throw this big battery setup in here. It's literally been here collecting dust. I bought that for another project that fell apart. So I've had it here. It's a 36 volt, which is perfect for this guy. And my thought for this video is, let's just slide that in here, hook everything up. It looks to be pretty intact. He said he thought his friend unhooked a ground. I do see a lock washer there. I don't see anything unhooked. It all looks pretty complete, so I think we can throw a battery in and hit the key if we had one. So we'll have to do some hot wiring there, and just see if it even moves and does what we want, and then we can come up with some ideas on where to go from there. So this being a big battery, of course, I've got my Anderson plug, which will plug into the battery right here, and then I've got my 2 leads coming out. And my thought on that was, I've got these posts, and I'll just kind of temporarily mount those in here, and I can run my positive and my positive and my negative and my negative, turn the key on, and we can see if we're in business. So that's what we're going to attempt here today. Alright, so I'll just quick show you what I did here. Got my Anderson plug into my big battery. I got my 2 posts. My positive, of course, goes to the solenoid. Negative comes off the controller. I think this needs 36 volts too, if I remember right. But we'll flip it on here once. We'll either burn the house down or have nothing, or maybe it'll work. I guess we'll see, but I'm pretty sure that needs 36 volts. I did see a nut pulled off of here. Maybe I'll try to throw one on there quick. I think that might just be... you know what? I'm going to throw a nut on there. I thought that might be the reverse horn, but I think that's more important than that. So let me throw a nut on there quick if I can find one. Alright, I did find a nut to throw on there real quick. And I did have a key for it, believe it or not, that works. That was from another build, I think Meltdown, and I ended up buying a new ignition switch because the key didn't work, but it works in this one, so save a couple bucks there. Alright, let's give this thing the juice. Hopefully nothing catches on fire. Alright, it's on. Turn our key switch on. And hit the gas pedal. Nothing. Okay, I'm pretty sure my red needs 36 volts right here, if I remember right from the last one. So let me do that, and then check a couple things and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, we've got reverse in forward, and no forward in reverse. So somebody's been in here messing with things, but it does move backwards, which is a good start, I guess, if we were wanting to go backwards all the time. But yeah, I'll double check some things here. I don't know why that would be. I mean, I've had that happen to me before when I wired the motor backwards. But this doesn't look like it's been tampered with at all, which is kind of confusing me. So anyway, it does move, and the controller somewhat works. So that's a good start. Well, it goes backwards good. I did find where the wire, I don't know if you can see where that's kind of gray. It was actually over and touching that one, which definitely gave us some grief. Probably this forward and reverse switch, they tend to go bad. Why? Like I said, everything looks factory, and why forward is reverse is a little confusing to me. But I have a spare motor, I have a spare forward and reverse switch, so we can play around with that on another day. The main thing is I wanted to get the battery in here and see if the controller was any good, which it seems like it is. It clicks, and the solenoid clicks, and everything seems to be doing what it's doing. It's something in the switch or the wiring or the motor going back. So we can figure that out another day, but wanted to give you a first look at this guy. Got this one. I've got that one I bought from the dealer that I've kind of nicknamed Swamp Thing because it was in a swamp apparently, submerged. So that's probably going to be some electrical gremlins in that one. But for the most part, this one looks pretty good. The front axle looks decent on it. It's not all rusted up like some of them are. I felt around under the frame where they usually like to rot out in that corner. That seemed good. You know, it's only got 2 lug nuts, but I mean that should be plenty. Rear bushings are shot, of course. Your typical problems. This dash is decent. It does have a crack right here, which, you know, I could probably plastic weld and fix that, but depending on what we do with this one, I may just replace the dash. Got a lot of potential, I guess, is what I'm saying, and we'll kind of get some ideas and go from there. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this episode. I know we didn't get a whole lot accomplished today, didn't have a lot of time to mess with it, but I did want to show you the latest purchase, and I thought maybe we could just do something quick and easy, throw a battery in it and run it around the block, but of course that didn't happen. But at least we know some things, and we can figure out the rest on the next episode. head on over to my Facebook page, also called Kart Crazy. Get some behind the scenes looks, and you'll know when the videos are coming out ahead of time, so you can check that out. And do a few things that I don't do on YouTube on there. You can also message me on Facebook Messenger if you have any questions about a project maybe that you're working on. So appreciate you coming along. We'll see you next time on Kart Crazy.